Hello, everybody. This is Andrew Sherman of the MLBeers podcast, and this is Game 4, or Episode 4, of the MLBeers Historical Showdown, and where the hosts picked the 1929 Philadelphia Athletics versus your choice, the New York Mets of 1986. So anyway, for the Mets, they went 108-54 during the season. They played at Shea Stadium, and on their way to get into the into the World Series, they beat the Houston Astros 4-2 in the National League Championship Series, and then beat Boston 4-3 in the World Series. And especially to note that Game 6 and Game 7, they were behind in both of those games and won them both. So anyway, the manager for the 86 Mets, we have Davey Johnson with a career .561 win-loss percentage. He managed for 17 seasons. He only had 16 playoff appearances, and this is his only title in managing. The Hall of Famers out of this 86 class, the only one that is that is in the Hall of Fame right now, even though we have a great lineup in front of us, is Gary Carter, and he was elected by the writers in 2003. Of course, you have Keith Hernandez over here, Lenny Dykstra, even though he was more of a hothead than anything else, Darryl Strawberry. Then we have Ron Darling has done well. Dwight Gooden, he's another guy that has done well for the organizations. And the only fact that I found, besides that they came back in Game 6 and 7 of the World Series, was that this year was that in '86 was the 25th anniversary of the organization, and also and I say weird because it was a team that was filled with future Hall of Famers, like I brought up before, but never happened. A dynasty that never happened, pretty much. With all the names I've said before, like Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, to name the few. So anyway, to the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929. They went 104-46 during the season, and they played at Shibe Park in Philly. They beat the Chicago Cubs in 5 games, 4-1, of course, in the World Series. Manager, number 1 on the all-time winning manager list, Connie Mack, managing 53 seasons as a player, manager, and owner. Not all of those with the Athletics, though. He was a player-manager mostly for the Pittsburgh Pirates back, actually, I think, if I remember correctly, before the integration of the MLB. But anyway, what was really surprising is that Mr. Connie Mack had a .481 win-loss percentage throughout his career. And why I say that is because he's the winningest manager of all time with 3,731. Of course, Mr. Oh man, I can't even think of his name at the moment. All right. Anyway, we'll go back. John McGraw. There we go. Which he's second on the all-time winning manager list. Which he was the manager of the New York Giants at the time. But anyways, Connie Mack, definitely a different man than Davey Johnson. He's won 9 pennants and 5 World Series, all with the Athletics. And he was voted into the Hall of Fame in 1937 by the Centennial Committee, which is very similar to the Veterans Committee. And for the Hall of Famers, we have outfielder Al Simmons, which he was voted in by the writers in 1953. Catcher Mickey Cochrane in 1947 by the writers. First baseman Jimmie Foxx in 51 by the writers. And pitcher Lefty Grove in 1947 by the writers. And which is interesting, I believe that is the first time in this series that we've had Hall of Famers that were both Hall of Famers that were on the same team, of course, but were in the Hall of Fame the same year. And, of course, you're seeing me mess with my other accounts so I don't get any more updates. But anyways, this was the highest for the Athletics. This was the highest team to win, the highest winning team to win the World Series in the Athletics organization. You could say 1931 with 107 wins, but ultimately lost in 7 games by the St. Louis Cardinals in 1931, if I didn't say that. And, of course, since it is a very, very big year margin of years, from 86 to 20, I put down 26 on my notes, but 29. Money comparison, of course. You want to always talk about money. And Gary Carter for the New York Mets was making $2.1 million that year for the Mets. And for the Athletics, you had Al Simmons getting $15,000. Which, you know, if you do the whole money comparison, go through the ebbs and flows of the economy, it's almost the same. But then again, if you look at Babe Ruth, then that's a whole different story, and he's more of an outlier than anything else. So anyway, we have it Game 1 in Philadelphia at Shibe Park. We have the Mets, Sid Fernandez, 16-6 throughout that season, and throwing a 3.52 ERA. And then we have Lefty Grove of the Athletics, 20-6 with a 2.81 ERA. Here we go. Game 1. And, of course, the the Athletics beat the Mets 5-2. Lefty Grove with the win, Sid Fernandez with the loss, and Yerkles. And let's look at the name right here. Carol Yerkles gets the save and 1 home run from Mr. Dykes right over here. Let's take a Jimmie Dykes gets the first home run of the series, which is very interesting because this was the start of the home run craze back in near the end of the home run craze back in the 20s. So anyways, let's take a look at the line, shall we? It was no runs in the first, but the Athletics strike first in the bottom of the second. Then the Mets tie it up at the top of the first, 1-1. And then at the bottom of the fifth, the Athletics take over, scoring 3 in that inning. Then the 6th to put the dagger in, making it 5-1. But then a little run in the 8th that really didn't matter to make it really 5-2 Athletics. The Mets 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error, and the Athletics 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And let's take a look at the 86 Mets real quick, how they do. And Lenny Dykstra going 2 for 5. You had Keith Hernandez going 2 for 3 with a walk in the process, which is really good, and getting that RBI and a run in. Then Darryl Strawberry going 1 for 3 with a walk, but he struck out twice in the process. You have Kevin Mitchell going 1 for 4, striking out 3 times. And that is all she wrote, folks, for the batting of the 86 Mets. And nothing going on with Mr. Mookie Wilson at left field and Gary Carter, which he struck out. For the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929, you have Mr. Miller right here going 1 for 4. Really, Al Simmons doing some work, going 2 for 4 in the process, striking out once but getting a run in. But Mr. Jimmie Dykes, he's going to probably be the dark horse out of this whole group of players, going 3 for 3, getting 2 runs in, getting 3 RBIs, and walking once. And, of course, if I said correctly, Mr. Dykes also got the first home run of the series which is really important. And let's actually take a look. Jimmie Foxx going 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Cochrane going 0 for 3 with 1 strikeout. Now to the pitching side. Sid Fernandez goes 5 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, but only one of them was earned, and 4 walks, striking out 6 and giving up the lone home run, throwing 96 times, 58 of those being strikes. Mr. Sisk, let's see if it does a little hover over. Doug Sisk goes for 1/3 of an inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, make that an earned, 1 walk, 0 strikeouts. And then I want to say Eric Lynch. Ed Lynch. Again, I do not look at these ahead of time, which I probably should for future references, but I don't. But Ed Lynch going 1 2/3, giving up the 1 hit and striking out 1. And then Rick Anderson going 1 inning and doing nothing. While for the Philadelphia Athletics, Lefty Grove going 7 1/3 inning, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, 3 walks and 13 strikeouts, which I think if I go back to the archives, we do have Lefty Grove throwing the most strikeouts in a game in this series. Then Mr. Shores, I want to say Bill Shores. I was close. I was thinking Billy. But anyway, Shores goes 0.0 innings, giving up 1 hit and nothing else. It looks like he was just only going for 1 player. And then Mr. Yerkes, Carol Yerkes, which Yerkes. Yeah, Yerkes. I'm going with Yerkes. Sounds like a woman's name, but then again, I can't complain, and I'm not the one saying it. Anyway, 1 2/3 innings, giving up 2 hits and 1 strikeout. Of course, Jimmy Dykes going 3 for 3 of the day, gets player of the game, and of course, this was at Shibe Park, a lovely facility back in the 20s, which actually I should bring up as I go back to the next screen, is that the previous ballpark for the Philadelphia Athletics was about $1,000. When they built Shibe Park, it was $20,000. So there you go. It was actually more than Al Simmons's contract for the year, which was really interesting to see. So anyway, Game 1 goes to the Athletics. Now Game 2, back at Shibe Park, Dwight Gooden, the Doc, comes out to pitch against George Earnshaw of the Philadelphia Athletics. And let's look at the season totals real quick for Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden went 17-6, and I believe that this was his sophomore season with the New York Mets. Again, he went 17-6, and he had an ERA of 2.84. Mr. George Earnshaw on the Philadelphia Athletics side went 24-8 and had an ERA of 3.29. And if you want to compare strikeouts, 200 to 80 with the walks, and 149 to 125 for Mr. Earnshaw. But anyways, that doesn't mean anything when you're playing in the historical showdown, but it's nice to know how good your pitching is. So here we go. Game 2 back at Shibe Park. Dwight Gooden versus George Earnshaw. And the Mets defeat the Philadelphia Athletics 10-3, getting back at the Athletics. Sisk gets the win, while M-Kill gets the loss. Darryl Strawberry and Mookie Wilson get home runs. Jimmie Foxx and Mule Haas to be exact, gets their first home runs of the series. So we have 5 home runs at the moment. Let's take a look at the box score, shall we? The Philadelphia Athletics, of course, scored first in the bottom of the second, then scored twice in the bottom of the third, but then the Mets start coming back, scoring 1 in the fourth, then scoring 1 in the sixth, and then just really laying it on, down by 1 in the top of the ninth, really laying in on the Athletics, scoring 8 in the last inning, making it 10-3 Mets. Mets had the line of 10 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors, while the Athletics had 3 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. If we look at the Mets batting line scores, we had Dykstra going 1 for 4, Backman going 2 for 4, Hernandez going 1 for 5, Darryl Strawberry putting up some numbers, going 2 for 3, of course, with his home run and getting the RBI and 2 walks and striking out. He has numbers everywhere in this game. Keith Hernandez, like I said, 1 for 5, having those 2 RBIs. Then you have Mookie Wilson going 2 for 5, having 3 RBIs, scoring twice and 2 strikeouts in the process. And then Gary Carter going 1 for 5, getting 1 run in. And that will be all for that of the Mets. While we look at the Athletics, it's Simmons going 2 for 5, not striking out. Jimmie Foxx going 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs, but striking out twice in the process. And then, of course, we have to look at Mule Haas because he had the other home run for the Athletics, and he went 1 for 3, 1 RBI, and 1 run, of course, scoring himself in. That's what it looks like as we take a look at this. 0 on, 0 outs. It looks like the first pitch of the at-bat. And so, we go down to the pitching side, where Doc Gooden goes 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, make those earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, and giving up the 2 home runs. He threw 69 times, with 44 of those being strikes. And Mr. Bruce Barini, going 2 innings, giving up 1 hit and striking out 2. Anderson coming in, Rick Anderson going no innings, but giving up the 1 hit in 1 pitch. Neiman, I want to say Rick Neiman or Ron Neiman, Randy Neiman, going 1/3 of an inning and only throwing 1 pitch. I guess it was to get rid of the side. Sisk with the win, Mr. Doug Sisk going 1 2/3 inning, giving up 1 hit and 1 walk. And Orsko, if I'm saying that correctly, Jesse Orozco, going 1 inning and giving up and striking out 1. For the Philadelphia Athletics side, we have George Earnshaw going 7 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, make that 2 earned, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run, which is really interesting because there's already been 2 really high-profile strikeout strikeout pitchers for the Athletics, and one of them gets the loss. Anyway, Carol Yerkels goes 1 inning with giving up 1 hit, but striking out 1. Then Mr. Howard Emke going Hemke, there we go, going 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, make those 5 earned, 1 walk and no strikes, and he looks like probably the guy that gave up the game winner, as seen here, broken save. And Mr. Bill Shores going 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits, 3 runs, make those 3 earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and 1 home run. And, of course, I would have gone with Darryl Strawberry as well, as seen here. Darryl Strawberry being the player of the game, and, of course, it was at Shibe Park. And sorry, folks, that I keep on clearing my throat. It is finally the allergy season here in the Ozarks, especially in the Queen City of Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, and it has really been going at it today. Excuse me. So anyways, the series is tied at 1, and now we go to Game 3, and we're finally at Shea Stadium. And it will be Bob Ojeda, if I am saying that correctly, against Jack Quinn of the Athletics. Bob Ojeda for the Mets. And for him, he went 18-5, having an ERA of 2.57, throwing 148 strikeouts, only giving up 52 walks and 15 home runs. While we have Mr. Jack Quinn going 11-9, giving up 39 walks and 8 home runs, and giving 41 strikeouts with an ERA of 3.97. And I'm guessing this is hits allowed, which he gave up 182 to Ojeda's 185. So anyway, to Shea Stadium here, let's simulate the game. And the Mets take the series lead 2-1 as they defeat the Athletics 7-0. Ojeda getting the win, and Mr. Ozzie Orwell of the Athletics gets the loss. Gary Carter with 2 home runs actually in the game, and Mr. Howard Johnson, if I am correct, Mr. Howard Johnson of the Mets getting his first, and I do not believe he is actually part of the Howard Johnson Hotel family. So, looking at the box score, we go into the 4th where the Mets start clobbering the ball, equaling the inning, 4 in the 4th, then 2 in the 6th, and make that an equal 7 in the 7th, making it 7-0 Mets. The Athletics, 0 runs, 3 hits, and no errors, while the Mets had 7 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. So looking at the Philadelphia Athletics, Cochrane going 1 for 4, Simmons going 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the process, Jimmie Foxx 0 for 3, Dykes 0 for 3, Haas 0 for 3. A lot of offers tonight, and especially with Mr. Al Simmons having 3 strikeouts in the process. For the 86 Mets, Lenny Dykstra, nothing. Backman, nothing. Keith Hernandez going 1 for 4, but he doesn't have any strikeouts. Darryl Strawberry going 1 for 3. He had an RBI, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. But it all goes down to Gary Carter. You can talk about Mookie Wilson going 2 for 3, no strikeouts, and the 1 walk, but you have to think of Gary Carter having 2 home runs, 1 in the 4th inning and 1 in the 6th inning. Very, very talented man, the kid, as they say in the baseball realm, going 2 for 4, having 5 RBIs and 2 runs in the process, and no strikeouts. For the pitching of the Athletics, Jack Quinn going 1 2/3, giving up 2 hits and 2 walks, which is very eerie. Well, not eerie, but just odd, because he gave up 2 hits, and he was real quick. So Ozzie Orwell going 2 1/3, giving up 4 hits, 4 runs, make those 4 earned, and 3 strikeouts, and the 2 home runs, one from Mr. Howard Johnson and the other from Mr. Gary Carter. Then you want to say Erwin Rommel, but it is Eddie Rommel, not the former German tank commander of the Nazis. He goes, Mr. Eddie Rommel, before I get sued by anybody else for I guess it would be it would be slander. Sorry for that. But anyways, he goes 1 inning and 1 walk. For Mr. Bill Breckenridge, he goes 1 2/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, make those 3 earned, 3 walks and no strikeouts, and giving up the other home run from Mr. Gary Carter. Then Howard Hemke going 1 1/3 of an inning and only giving up the one walk. While Mr. Bob Ojeda, going a complete game, 9 innings, giving up 3 hits and 6 Ks, throwing 91 times and making those 63 strikes. And of course, Bob Ojeda gets the player of the game at the lovely Shea Stadium. And this might be the shortest one so far, with the time of 2 hours and 30 minutes. And of course, it was a lovely 73 degrees. The wind might be a little hectic with 11, but it's not bad for the Mets, taking the series lead 2-1. So now we have Mr. Ron Darling for the Mets in Game 4, facing Rube Wahlberg as his opponent for the Athletics. As we take a look here, we have Mr. Ron Darling going 15-6, throwing 184 strikeouts with an ERA of 2.81, make those 81 walks, 21 home runs, which is the highest on the team, but he also had the highest hits, which is interesting, having a low ERA, but also having the highest hits allowed with 203. Then you have for the Athletics, Mr. Rube Wahlberg going 18-11, having a 3.6 ERA, striking out 94 people and walking 99, having 22 home runs. So this is going to be of course, this is the 4th guy from the Athletics, since they only ran with 4 in the rotation, and and of course it always goes 4 in the rotation during this, but this actually happened during the season where in 1929 where the Athletics did go with 4 in the rotation. But anyways, he gave up 256 hits, not as bad as Mr. Lefty Grove, but what's interesting is that even though Ron Darling has a 2.81 ERA, Mr. Rube Wahlberg has a 3.60. So anyways, Game 4, here we go. And the 1929 Athletics beat the Mets 12-4, avenging Game 3, and the series is tied at 2, with Wahlberg getting the win, Darling getting the loss, and Cochrane and Strawberry getting home runs. One Mr. Cochrane for the Athletics, and of course his first one of the series, and Mr. Darryl Strawberry getting his second of the series. So looking at the box right here, the Mets score first at the bottom of the first, scoring 2. Then the Athletics double up in the third, with 4. And in the bottom of the fourth, the Mets try to crawl back, getting 1 in the fourth, but the Athletics double that in the 6th with 2. And again, the Mets crawling, trying to get something going, scoring 1. And that was really it for the Mets on the scoring. We had the Athletics scoring in the 7th and the 8th, the 7th with 2 and the 8th with 4, making that the total 12-4 Athletics. The Athletics had 12 runs, 15 hits, and 2 errors, while the New York Mets had 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. So let's take a look at the batting line scores for the Philadelphia Athletics. We have Mr. Mickey Cochrane going 2 for 6, but he had 3 RBIs, no strikeouts, and also scoring 2 in the process. Al Simmons going 2 for 5, running in 3 times and walking once. Jimmie Foxx going 1 for 3, walked 3 times, but he struck out twice. But of course, Mr. Jimmy Dykes, the guy that I thought was going to be the dark horse of the Philadelphia Athletics, going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs, and of course getting the walk. But also you can't always think of your all-star, your Hall of Famers in this situation to be that guy. So of course the small fries come in and they finally, I shouldn't say pick up the slack, because that sounds like that's a horrible way of saying it. But they're finally showing themselves in the series Mr. Bishop, let's get his name real quick. Max Bishop going 1 for 4, but he gets 2 RBIs and 2 runs in. He gets a walk and a strikeout. But Mr. Hale, Sammy Hale, going 2 for 5 with 2 walking in twice, scoring 2 for that, and no walk or strikeout in the process. While we have the 86 Mets, Lenny Dykstra going 0 for 4, walking once, but he gets in once also. Backman going 1 for 5. Then you have Keith Hernandez going 0 for 5, but a good thing he wasn't struck out any of those times. Darryl Strawberry getting the 1 hit, which was the home run. If I can breathe. Again, the allergies are really getting to me today. Anyway, 1 for 3, he gets the 2 RBIs and walks in twice, and walks once. Then Kevin Mitchell, if I'm correct, yep. Kevin Mitchell going 2 for 4 with 1 scoring in once, and it looked like he is on the day-to-day with a bruised foot, which I was not expecting, and I kind of wish that it actually tells you if somebody is really injured, like in the first game where Derek Jeter was actually injured, but he still played through the series. Anyway, Gary Carter going 0 for 4 with 1 strikeout. Mookie Wilson going 2 for 3 with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. And Howard Johnson, of course, like I said, not the hotel tycoon, going 1 for 3 with 1 walk and 1 strike. For the pitching, though, Mr. Wahlberg, if I can remember his name, Rube Wahlberg, I should remember that because another man named Rube is Mr. Rube Foster, which started the Negro Leagues back in the 20s, I believe 1921 or 23, started the Negro Leagues. But anyways, Mr. Rube Wahlberg gets the win here, going 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, make 2 of those earned, and 4 walks, but striking out 5 and giving up the lone home run to Darryl Strawberry, throwing 112 times, 63 of those being strikes. Then Eddie Rommel going 1 inning and nothing else, which is a good thing. Then Howard Hemke, going 2 innings, giving up 2 hits and nothing else in the process. Then Ron Darling for the Mets goes 3 2/3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, make those 4 earned. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Throwing 60 times, making 37 of those strikes. Mr. Barini goes 1/3 of an inning and gets 1 strikeout. Then you have Mr. Aguilera, Rick Aguilera. Ooh, that's a lovely sounding name. Rick Aguilera. Anyways, back to being serious. He goes 1 1/3 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, make 2 of those earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Then Sisk goes 2/3 of an inning, gets the 1 strikeout. Anderson comes in, 2 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, and 1 walk. Mr. Neiman comes in for 1/3 of an inning and strikes out 1. Ed Lynch goes 1 inning, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, make those 3 earned, 3 walks, and 2 of those struck out. And Orozco goes 1 2/3 inning, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, make that 1 run earn, and 1 walk. And of course, Sammy Hale of the Philadelphia Athletics, again, going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs, no walks, and he walks in twice. And of course, it was at Shea Stadium. So this game, getting back to tying level. Game 5, Sid Fernandez versus Lefty Grove. Of course, this was the game 1 of the series tied 2-2. But I didn't go through their totals, I believe. As I said, Lefty Grove going 20-6, but that was it with a 281 average. But he struck out 170 only 81 walks and 8 home runs and allowed 278 hits, while Mr. Sid Fernandez going 16-6 with a 3.52 ERA with 200 strikeouts, 91 of those 91 walks, 13 home runs, and 161 hits allowed. And, of course, Lefty Grove getting the win last in Game 1, Sid Fernandez getting the loss, and, of course, Yerkles getting the save. And here we go, Game 5. And the Philadelphia Athletics lead the series now 3-2. Of course, there's somebody going to lead. Lefty Grove gets the win again. Sid Fernandez gets the loss. And Carol Yerkles gets the save, his second of the series. And no home runs this time, which I was really disappointed about. So let's take a look at the box score here. It was nothing until the second where the Athletics finally will get on the board with 2, and then nothing until the bottom of the 6th where the Mets try to cut the lead in half by scoring 1, but that was ultimately over where the Athletics win 2-1, where the Athletics 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors, while the Mets had 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. So let's take a gander at the batting line score for the Philadelphia Athletics. Mickey Cochrane going 2 for 4 with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Al Simmons getting 1 hit out of 5 with 5 tries. Jimmie Foxx 0 for 4, but give him the golden sombrero, folks. He gets 4 strikeouts in the process. Mr. Dykes goes 0 for 2, but gets a walk and runs in once. Then we have Mr. Mule Haas, which is a really awesome name, going 0 for 3, walking once, and striking out once. So, and anyways, Bishop goes 0 for 2, and Hale goes 1 for 4, and nobody gets really an RBI in this situation, which I actually kind of want to see how they get those scores in at the moment. But let's go through the batting line score of the 86 Mets. Dykstra 0 for 3. Backman with 2 hits out of 4 tries, but gets the strikeout. Hernandez goes 0 for 4. Strawberry 0 for 3. Mitchell 0 for 3. Gary Carter 0 for 3. And Mookie Wilson, the other guy to get a hit, goes 1 for 3. No strikeouts, but everybody else strikes out, especially Strawberry and Mitchell getting 2 strikeouts in the process. So let's take a gander real quick and why there was no RBIs in the situation. So, as we look here, both of them scored on a wild pitch. Jimmy Dykes scores on a wild pitch, seen here, no ball 1-0, but it was a wild pitch. Jimmy Dykes scores. Max Bishop goes to third. Sammy Hale goes to second. For Mickey Cochrane, it happened again. Called strike, he went 0-1, but then the wild pitch happened, scoring Max Bishop from third and moves Homer Suma to second, and then grounds out to end the inning. So, nobody gets those, which is very, very interesting. And I don't know what just happened there. Actually, I'm going to do this real quick and then go back to it. Okay. Making sure I wasn't hitting the wrong buttons. So anyway, to the Philadelphia pitching line scores, we had Lefty Grove, of course, getting the win, going 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, make that 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. Throwing 91 times, 57 of those being strikeouts. And then Carol Yerkles goes in for 2 innings to end this game, gets the 1 strikeout, 20 pitches, and 13 make those 13 strikes. Well, Sid Fernandez goes 8 innings, gets the loss, I should say. Goes 8 innings, gives up 3 hits, 2 run, make those 2 earned. 6 walks, which I've never seen before from the starting pitcher, and 12 Ks, which now is the highest I've ever seen from a losing pitcher that I can recall. He threw 126 times, 73 of those being strikes. Then we had Mr. McDowell, Roger McDowell, going 1 inning, giving up 1 hit and nothing else. Lefty Grove, it becomes the player of the game. And, of course, this is the last time we will be at lovely Shea Stadium, folks. So here we go to Game 6. And that was another short game. I think that's the shortest one of them all. So, to Game 6, back at Shibe Park, the Game 2 starters, Dwight Gooden versus George Earnshaw. Gooden didn't get the win, but the Mets won 10-3 in a bashing, pretty much. And let's see how this all goes down. Will the Athletics finally end it, or will we go to a Game 7? Here we go. Simulation. The series is tied. The Mets win 6-5. This could be another moment in disguise of '86. Dwight Gooden gets the win. George Earnshaw gets the loss. Mr. McDowell gets the save. Roger McDowell. Lenny Dykstra gets his first home run of the series, and Al Simmons gets his first home run of the series. So let's make this quick, folks. So, on the line, in the box score, the Athletics score 1-1 in innings 1 and 2, then nothing in the third. Then the Mets come out to play. In the top of the fourth, they score 3, and then in the top of the fifth, they score 5, making it 2-5. And then in the bottom of the seventh, they almost tied it up, scoring 2 in the bottom of the seventh, making it 5-4. Then the Mets actually close it out, making it 6-4. But the Athletics come up short, scoring just 1 to make it 6-5. The Mets scoring 6 times, hitting 11, and 1 error, while the Philadelphia Athletics score 5 times, giving up 1. Well, having 12 hits and no errors. So, for the '86 Mets, Dykstra going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and scoring twice, only having 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Backman going 1 for 4. Keith Hernandez going 2 for 4, but getting an RBI, walking once, and striking out. Darryl Strawberry going 1 for 4. No RBIs. He scores, though, but he does strike out. Kevin Mitchell, 0 for 4, striking out twice, but has 1 walk. Mookie Wilson getting 1 hit out of 5 tries. And Gary Carter, 2 for 5, but striking out once. For the Philadelphia Athletics, we have Suma going 1 for 3. We had Cochrane going 1 for 4, Simmons going 1 for 5 with 3 RBIs. No strikeouts from these 3, which is very interesting. Jimmie Foxx, though, has been really underplaying this series, going 1 for 4 with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Jimmy Dykes, though, going 3 for 5. Mule Haas going 1 for 4. And Mr. Bishop, Max Bishop, going 1 for 3. And Hale going 2 for 4. And Simmons, like I said, getting that 3 RBIs, but it doesn't help that Lenny Dykstra getting his hit, his home run, but also Hale getting his second in the second inning. Anyway, to the pitching line score, Gooden gets the win, of course, going 7 innings, giving up 9 hits, 4 runs, make those 4 earned, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, and the lone home run, pitching 108 times, throwing 68 of those as strikes. Mr. Roger McDowell goes 2 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, make that run not earned, 1 walk, and nothing else. While for the Philadelphia Athletics, George Earnshaw gets the loss, going 4 innings, giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, make those 3 earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Mr. Eddie Rommel goes 1 inning, giving up 3 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Ozzie Orwell goes 2 innings and giving up 1 hit, but striking out 2. Mr. Howard Hemke going 1/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, make that 1 earned and nothing else, while Mr. Bill Shores going 1 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, and 2 Ks. And of course, Lenny Dykstra is the player of the game, and of course, again, going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 1 walk. He runs the home plate twice and striking out once. And of course, this was in Shibe Park, and I believe this was the second longest game in the series. But this is it, folks. We're going here. Game 7. Of course, everybody knows what I do for Game 7. This is going to be played. So we have the Game 3 starters, Mr. Bob Ojeda versus Jack Quinn. Ojeda getting the win last game, and Orwell getting the loss. But it was a heavy hitters game as Mr. Gary Carter hit 2, and Howard Johnson, again, not the Hotel Tycoon, getting the 1 home run. We can't simulate this. Of course, we got to play it. Here we go, folks. For your lineups today in the starting pitching for the New York Mets of 1986, we have Lenny Dykstra in center field batting first. Wally Backman, second baseman, going in second. Keith Hernandez will be hitting third, and he's your first baseman. Darryl Strawberry playing in right field as your cleanup spot. Kevin Mitchell, shortstop, hitting fifth. Mookie Wilson, the speedy Mookie Wilson, playing left field, hitting number 6. Gary Carter, your catcher, hitting 7th. Howard Johnson, your third baseman, hitting 8th. And, of course, the pitcher hitting in the 9th spot, Bob Ojeda. Or Haida. I'm going with Haida. For your 1929 Philadelphia Athletics, for some odd reason, I still want to keep on saying the Phillies, but it is the Athletics. We have hitting up first, Homer Suma, the right fielder, batting left. Mickey Cochrane, the catcher, hitting second, batting left. Al Simmons, the left fielder, hitting third. Jimmie Foxx, your cleanup, in the fourth spot, playing at first. Jimmy Dykes, your shortstop, hitting fifth. Mule Haas, center fielder, hitting sixth. Max Bishop at second, hitting seventh. Sammy Hale as being your eighth hitter, playing at third base. And, of course, like I said before, the pitcher hitting in the 9th spot, which that is Jack Quinn. So here we go, folks. I do nothing else. Let's start the game. Let me turn this up a little bit. Let's see if we can get some nice crowd noise here, if the game will permit me to do that. All right, let's see how this goes. All right. Here we go, folks. Coming to you live from lovely Shibe Park, the $20,000 stadium in Philadelphia. And, of course, we're here for the start of the Dynasty 1929 Athletics versus the one-and-done team, the Dynasty that could have, the 1986 New York Mets. So here we go, Jack Quinn versus Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra having 5 hits out of 24 plate appearances, having 1 home run and 3 RBIs with a 208 average, 231 on base percentage, and a 696 on base plus slugging. While Mr. Jack Quinn only going 1 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits and 2 strikeouts, which I still thought was very, very interesting to see that when he got out. So here we go, folks. First pitch right here. Jack Quinn throws it. Dykstra to left center, and Simmons is underneath it to make it out 1 for the Athletics. Wally Blackman, 8-23 this series, 2 RBIs, hitting a .348 and hitting a .348 average with a .943 on base plus slugging. Smacks the ball down the first base line, but Jimmie Foxx is there to get the ball and make it the second out. An assist. So Keith Hernandez, first baseman, he goes 6 for 25 as the crowd still goes on here at Shibe Park for that excellent play by Jimmie Foxx. 6 for 25, 4 RBIs, a 240 average, and a 576 on base plus slugging. Here's the pitch from Jack Quinn. And one to right field. He smacks it. He's going to second. Will there be a play? No. No play from second as Suma throws it in, making it to the cutoff man, Max Bishop. Darryl Strawberry up to bat. Hitting left today. I think he's a lefty. Without the switching, going 6 and 19, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. His average is a 316 with an on-base plus slugging of 1.112. Here's the pitch. Keith Hernandez is on second. Quinn with the pitch. It's a high but short one to right, and Suma gets underneath it to make it the third out and to get out of the inning for Jack Quinn. So, for Mr. Bob Oneda, of course, he gets the win from Game 3 of the series, going for a complete game, only giving up 3 hits and 6 strikeouts in the process, while Homer Suma only has 1 hit out of 14 tries, only 1 RBI. His batting average is an .071, and his on-base plus slugging is a dismal .294. Here we go. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. He smacks it to the first baseman. Keith Hernandez gets the unassisted out and 1 out for the Mets. Mickey Cochrane is up next. He's hitting 7 out of 25 with 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He has a .280 average and an on-base plus slugging of .733. Here we go. Ojeda with the pitch. It sounds like a good one. Little chopper. A little bloop to to right center, and Cochrane gets on at first base. So then we have Al Simmons, has the nice 70 power and 70 contact. He's 8 for 27, making that 1 home run and 3 RBIs, and that average is a .296 with an on-base plus slugging of .729. Here we go, folks. Here's the pitch from Bob Ojeda. Oh, it's a wild one. Close one, in fact, almost hitting Al Simmons. But Cochrane having enough time to get the second base on that wild throw. Very interesting from Gary Carter not getting that low ball. So here we go. The next pitch. Simmons sends it down the third baseline, and we might have our first run here. And we do. Simmons gets safe at second. The throw not in time, scoring in Cochrane, making that an RBI double in the process. Jimmie Foxx comes in. Same thing, 70 power and 70 contact, but he's only hit 3 times out of his 23 plate appearances. 1 home run and 3 RBIs with a batting average of .130 and his on-base plus slugging of .520. Bob Ojeda has already given up 2 hits in 9 pitches. Here we go, 1 out. Jimmie Foxx up at the plate. Ojeda throws, gives him the 3-1. Pretty much intentional throw right there. And now it's Jimmy Dykes. Dykes, of course, 9 for 21, 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Make those hits a .429 batting average and a 1.253 on-base percentage. And 1 man in scoring position. Al Simmons doesn't have the speed, though, but he does have the stamina. Here is the pitch. It's a long, lofty one, but it's infield. An infield fly, pretty much. And Jimmy Dykes is out for the second one for the Athletics. Buell Haas, 3 for 22 of the series, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. A poor a poor batting average of 136 and another poor 481 on base plus slugging. Ojeda has only thrown 14 pitches, but it feels like he's already thrown 80. Here's the throw. Smacks one. Oh, but nothing doing. Shortstop Kevin Mitchell there to get Mr. Jimmie Foxx out at first. And that will end the inning here at Shibe Park, making Philadelphia scoring the first run from a double from Mr. Simmons, scoring in Cochrane 1-0. All righty, Kevin Mitchell back at it, top of the second. Kevin Mitchell, 4 for 23 of the series with 2 RBIs, a dismal under the Mendoza line, 174 and a 544 on base percentage. Here we go. And I also forgot that Jack Quinn is probably about to beat, he needs to finish this inning to beat his last showing. Mitchell tries to get it, but nothing, as Mr. if I can talk today, as Mr. Jimmy Dykes gets the throw and the out. So here we go. Mookie Wilson, the other switch hitter, 8 for 23 of the series, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, a 348 batting average, and a 922 on base plus slugging. So here we go. Jack Quinn with the pitch. It's a high one towards center, but it looks like Mr. Mule Haas is underneath it to get the out, and nothing doing for Mookie Wilson. And it's now official that Jack Quinn has done better than his first outing. So now, Gary, the Kid Carter, going 5 for 23 this series with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. His batting average, though, is a 217, and his on-base plus slugging is a 728. Here we go. Here's the pitch. It's another high one to Haas, and he's underneath it to get the third and final out of the inning. So nothing doing for the 86 Mets, as it's still 1-0 Philadelphia Athletics. Now on to the bottom of the second. We have Max Bishop, second baseman, going 4 for 19 during the series, 2 RBIs, having a somewhat dismal 211 batting average and a 638 on base plus slugging. Here we go. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. And a little tapper to just right of the pitch, just left of the pitcher, actually, if you're looking from the pitcher, but just right of the pitcher. Getting the ball, Ojeda throwing it to Hernandez to get the first out. Next up, Mr. Sammy Hale, 9 for 23 with 2 RBIs, a lovely 391 batting average, and a nice 895 on base percentage. Here's the pitch. He strikes him out. I think that is the first strikeout of the of this game, with Ojeda getting the strikeout. So now, pitching duel right here, Bob Ojeda versus Jack Quinn. Quinn, 0 for 0, 0-0. Nothing doing with the hitting. Actually, if you remember correctly, he didn't even get to hit in his first game. So anyway, here's the pitch from Ojeda. And strikes him looking, and to end the side, Quinn looks at nothing, and Philadelphia doesn't pad their lead. So it's still 1-0 Philadelphia through the second. Howard Johnson will be up for the New York Mets for the third inning. And, of course, like I've said many of times, this Howard Johnson is not the man from, not the Howard Johnson of the Hotel Tycoon. But anyway, Johnson going 3 for 20, 1 home run and 2 RBIs, a really poor 150 batting average, and a 550 on base plus slugging. And Jack Quinn, of course, is doing much better, having 2 strikeouts. And, like I said, doing much better than his first outing. So here's the pitch. Quinn strikes him down the middle, and they're throwing the ball around the horn for the Athletics. Johnson striking out. Now officially the pitching duel, Jack Quinn versus Bob Ojeda. Ojeda going 1 for 4, having a .250 average and a .500 on base plus slugging. So here's the pitch. Taps it to the third baseman, but it's an easy play. Getting the out, making that the second one of the inning. So back to the top, we have Dykstra 0 for 1. A little fly out, I believe, if I remember correctly. And here's the throw. A little bloop shot gapping between the second baseman and the shortstop, right up the middle, getting him his first hit of the day, making that a single. Mr. Wally Backman has already has 2 RBIs of the series, but nothing doing this game. Here we go. Here's the pitch from Johnson. Oh! Did that just get through? It did. Dykstra all the way from first to home. Can't believe it. We just had a Bill Buckner type situation where Sammy Hale forgets to pick up the ball knowing where to go. And Al Simmons at least picks up the ball. And out of that conundrum, we had Dykstra scoring all the way from first and Wally Blackman going to second, and it is called a double. No errors, it seems like. But that could be later. That change could be later on in the game. So Keith Hernandez, of course, 1 for 1. He's got a run in from Mr. Blackman. Let's see if he can get this one in. Here's the pitch from Jack Quinn. It's a high one to left center. This could be trouble, just short of the warning track, and it might be a play. It's a triple. Keith Hernandez getting it into the gaps, and a triple for Keith Hernandez. Jack Quinn in trouble. 2 of the last 3 have been RBI, 1 a double, 1 a triple, and now the Mets take the lead 2-1 at the top of the third. But Darryl Strawberry might be thinking another one. This could be a home run right here. Oh, but strikes him out. A well-deserved and a well-needed strikeout from Jack Quinn to retire the side. And it was needed. So anyway, 2 runs in the top of the third. 1 from a wild error. 1 from a sweet hit between the gaps. And the New York Mets just take the lead at the top of the third, 2-1. Homer Suma getting the strikeout, of course, not doing so well. He only having 1 hit throughout the series. And now, Mickey Cochrane back up. He was the man that got the first run of the game in the bottom of the first. But here's the pitch from Ojeda. A nice smack to the gap, but it was ultimately stopped and getting him the single. Al Simmons up, and of course he had the hit and RBI for Cochrane. And here's the pitch. Another high one. This is going to be playable. Oh, it's just short of the warning track. This game is a lie. That could have been something else. That really could have, that could have been caught. But of course, it depends on the speed of your outfielders. And of course, your center fielder being Dykstra, not really being the best center fielder in this situation. But I digress. Anyway, Al Simmons gets the double, moving Cochrane to third. Jimmie Foxx, will he finally bring the power this series? Well, again, he's only hitting 3 for 23, 0-0 today. Wild pitch, I believe. And only 1 home run. Can he score both in? Foxx struck out. A big one here, making it 2 outs with runners in scoring position. And Jimmy Dykes will be up, of course. hitting better than Mr. Jimmie Foxx, going 9 for 22, but today 0 for 1. But could we see some power from Dykes? Got medium power, but he can get that contact. Here's the throw. A nice little bloop. Will it be enough? And no. Dykstra couldn't get the one before, but gets this one in short center to retire the side and to really relieve Bob Ojeda out of the inning. So it's still 2-1 New York Mets. So back at it, top of the fourth, we have Kevin Mitchell versus Jack Quinn. Here's the throw. A nice little bloop to left center. Simmons getting the ball and throwing it to his cutoff man. Mitchell on first with that single. Mookie Wilson up to hit. Here's the pitch. Nice little dribbler. Gets the 1 and the 2, I believe. Oh, just gets the 1. Let the dribbler go. And when you're so far up here, you can't really see anything that's going on. I think this is farther than a normal press box. Actually, I do know, since I do work in a press box, a little higher than usual. But anyway, Gary Carter up 0 for 1 today and has a runner in scoring position. Can he score him in? And he strikes out, gets the second out of the inning. And make that 2, I believe, or 3. Make that 3 for Jack Quinn. And Kevin Mitchell still at second. But can Johnson bring the surprise and score him in? Here's the throw. And he intentionally throws him. Getting Johnson out. Getting Johnson the first. And now Ojeda versus Quinn. I love the pitching duels here when it's pitching and hitting for both pitchers. But anyway, here we go. Ojeda. Nice little lovely smack, but will it go out? And no! Suma, even though he's having problems at the plate, he's still making those lovely grabs and ending the inning with a lovely stop at the warning track. Ojeda didn't get the pad, but still has the lead, 2-1. Now to the bottom of the fourth. So Mule Haas 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Has a lovely single. Oh, it's going to be trying for a double, and he does. No play at the second. And Haas helping himself, getting that double near the corner of right. Doing something. Max Bishop 0 for 1. 0 for 1 today, having 2 RBIs, but his hitting still abysmal with a 200 average. Ojeda has thrown 62 pitches through, just 3 innings at the moment. Here's the pitch, though. Bishop getting through the second baseman. But Haas stays at third. Bishop getting the single. Now it's Sammy Hale, 0 for 1 today. But he still has those 2 RBIs from earlier in this series. But will this tie the game with Mule Haas at third? Here's the pitch. Oh, and he strikes him. Chased a bad pitch. And that's going to be the first out of the inning for Bob Ojeda. So anyway, Jack Quinn, the lovely pitcher versus pitcher matchup. Ojeda having 71 pitches, still feeling good about himself. But here we go. Jack Quinn. Strike 3. Oh, but foul. Tries the bunts, but nothing else. Getting that foul, and that's not good. 2 in a row, but can Homer Suma really help out this team with a runner on third? Can they tie it right here? Suma, 0 for 2 today, but here's the pitch. Smacks one to center, but nothing. Dykstra gets it, and the Mets still lead it 2-1. and we go to the top of the fifth. Jack Quinn has thrown 68 pitches today. He's done well so far. 68 pitches. Let's go through this real quick. He's been through 4 innings, through 68 pitches, giving up 5 hits to make those 2 have 2 earned, 1 walk, and 3 Ks with an ERA of 3.18, even though nobody cares about the ERA through the series. So anyway, Lenny Dykstra helping himself, getting that run, getting on base to get that run in. 1 for 2 today. Here we go, Jack Quinn for the pitch. A little slapper towards short center, and Mr. Mule Haas gets the out. So Wally Backman comes in 1 for 2, getting the RBI off of Mr. Dykstra, and the crowd is still raving about that nice play from Mule Haas. So here we go, Jack Quinn throws it. Wally Backman grounds it to the shortstop and throws it the first for the out. So Keith Hernandez 2 for 2 today. Nobody on. Will he go for a home run here? We never know. Here is the pitch. And a nice semi-high one just drops right in front of Mr. Suma. And Keith Hernandez is on for 3 for 3 today. Pretty impressive for him. But can Darryl Strawberry get his first hit and possibly an RBI in this situation? Jack Quinn has thrown 74 pitches, and he doesn't look tired at all. Again, doing much better than his first game. Here's the pitch to Strawberry. Strawberry grounds it down the right field line, but of course, Jimmie Foxx gets the play and gets the out, retiring the side. So Mickey Cochrane is up for the Philadelphia Athletics, and he's 2 for 2 today. But will this change around? Here we go. Pitch, a smacker, but it's to the second baseman, and he throws it the first for the out. Al Simmons, 2 for 2. No one on, but he does have that RBI from Cochrane. But it doesn't matter now. Here's the pitch. A nice little bloop to left center, and Mr. Mookie Wilson gets the out, making that 2, and maybe going 1-2-3 here for Ojeda. Here's the pitch to Jimmie Foxx. It's getting high for Ojeda, though. Little roller to the third baseman and gets the out, making that 1-2-3, giving up 84 pitches in the process. Well, 88 pitches in the situation. Now to the top of the 6th, Kevin Mitchell up 1 for 2 today. And Jack Quinn might be coming out soon because he's at 82 pitches. But you never know what will happen in the game of baseball. So here's the pitch. Mitchell striking out. Really bad for Mr. Kevin Mitchell. Could have been on base for Mr. Mookie Betts, but then again, Mookie Wilson. Let's reaffirm that it's Mookie Wilson, not Mookie Betts. Anyway, 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch to Jack Quinn. A nice little roller, but the second baseman gets there in time and then just tosses it to the first baseman, Jimmie Foxx, to get the out. 1-2, but can he go 3? Gary Carter 0 for 2 today. And no one on, but it is high count. Here's the pitch from Jack Quinn. Little bloop. Oh, gets it to right center. And Gary Carter is on with a single, making it 1 for 3 today. And Howard Johnson 0 for 1. But this might be the big one. Jack Quinn at 91 pitches. Here's the pitch. Howard Johnson gives it right to to Jimmie Foxx, and gets the third out. Not a 1-2-3, but it does hold the game 2-1 Mets. For the Mets, we have Bob Ojeda at 88 pitches now. He's going 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 6 Ks, while Jimmy Dykes is up for the Athletics, the nice righty with that 60 contact and 55 power. 0 for 2 today, though. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. Nice little grounder towards the shortstop, and throw him out to first. Mulehaus is up with that nice 50-50, but he is 1 for 2 today. And let's hope he can help himself here. The Athletics need something to tie the game. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, but the play, he dropped the ball. Oh, and he makes it to first. But he is ultimately out. And of course, this is just a game, so I'm not always going to have the most accurate. But anyway, Max Bishop up. He's 1 for 2 today. Could get something going in the bottom of the 6th. Here we go. Bishop, Ojeda with the pitch, throwing it right inside for a ball, and Bishop is on. Bishop doesn't have the speed, though, but he does have the stamina. And Ojeda up to 99 pitches now, facing Sammy Hale. Hale did not do so well last go-around. As he ended that inning with a strikeout and leaving 2 on, if I remember correctly. So anyway, Ojeda with the pitch. Hale with a nice little bloop to right, just short. Will there be a play at third? No. And Sammy Hale, with 2 outs, moves that runner over from first, Max Bishop, in scoring position. But will the pitcher help himself? Jack Quinn, 0 for 2 today, also has Sammy Hale on. His contact and his power is real low for a pitcher. But here we go. Here's the pitch. Hits it towards the short stop and stops them right there. As Ojeda gets out of the inning and out of not a jam, but somewhat close of a jam, throwing those high pitch marks, throwing 104 times. So, Danny Hepp will pitch hit for Mr. Ojeda as he ends this. So he ends his, yeah, that's right. So he ends today with 6 innings, 7 hits, giving up 7 hits, 1 run, make that 1 run earn, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Throwing 104 times and 61 of those being strikes. So back at it, folks. Danny Hepp pitch hitting. Only has a 45 and a 50 on his contact and power. 1 for 4, 250, 500 on base percentage. Here's the pitch. Strikes him out. Jack Quinn trying to end it here. Lenny Dykstra back up. Lenny going 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. Strikes him out again. Jack Quinn might have something left in the bag. At 103 pitches, Wally Backman is up 1 for 3. Will he in the side right here? Oh, and he doesn't. Gets him right on the inside. Backman almost getting hit. Now Keith Hernandez going 3 for 3 in that 1 RBI. This is scary, folks. We don't know what's going to happen here. Quinn. Here's the pitch. A little looper towards the... Oh, this might be a play at third. And he's safe. Oh! Crazy, crazy. Keith Hernandez now 4 for 4, if I believe. Give that man something. I don't know what the opposite of the golden sombrero is. I'm guessing the golden margarita. I'm just taking a guess. I don't know, folks. Please tell me in the comments section if you do. Anyway, 0 for 3 to Darryl Strawberry. This could mean something for him. Strawberry needs something to pad this lead. Here's the pitch, but he strikes out. Jack Quinn going strikes wild here, throwing 3 to end this inning, and now we have Take Me Out to the Ball Game by the leading organist, somebody that I don't know, in Shibe Park. And, of course, that was lovely by our organist here at Shibe Park. But anyways, now it's still 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. And Rick Anderson will be the pitcher coming in for Hap. Homer Suma needs something going. He's 0 for 3 today, and it's still being abysmal batting average. Here's the pitch from Mr. Rick A. Anderson. A nice little pop, but lands directly to Mookie Wilson to get the out. Homer Suma, 0 for 4 today, I believe. Mickey Cochrane is up, though. He's 2 for 3, and he's trying to get something going for this for this team. But Randy Neiman comes in, taking over Mr. Anderson. He just was getting that one out. So here we go. Mickey Cochrane will be hitting for the Athletics, trying to start something, and doesn't. The ball rolled to the third baseman, and he gets out. Al Simmons is up 2 for 3 today with 1 RBI, and he needs to do something here. I know he's 333, he's 2 for 3 of the day, but he needs to get something going for this team. And Doug Sisk comes in for Neiman. Here's the pitch. One of these days. The pitch. Simmons gets up through the middle to get the single. This might be something here. Doug Sisk stays in. Nothing happens. 2 outs. Jimmie Foxx, 0 for 2 today. Needs something going for the Athletics. And it is a dire need, as there's only really 2 innings left after this. So Jimmie Foxx is up. Sisk with the throw. Fox gets it through and finally gets the hit. And it was a big one, even though it just moves the runner over to the second. Still a big one, and it still helps out the Athletics. Still 2 outs, down by 1. Jimmy Dykes is up. Not afraid to hit, but he is 0 for 3 today. But he does have that 1 home run and 5 RBIs in the series. And, of course, Al Simmons and Jimmie Foxx don't have the speed to steal. But here we go, Doug Sisk throwing the ball, and he hits him, loads the bases. This is unheard of here. And the crowd getting a little high here. Getting a little loud, getting a little high for this team, and Mule Haas will come in with the bases loaded, 2 outs. This is probably the biggest part of this series. Here we go. Doug Sisk with the throw. Mule Haas. Oh, and he walks him to tie it. Oh! Doug Sisk walks Mule Haas to tie the game. And oh lordy, here we go. This might be something. Sisk is out. Davey Johnson came up, told him to give him the ball, and now Rick Aguilera will be up on the mound. Max Bishop, 2 for 1 of the day. This is the big one. Will the bleeding continue or will it stop? Oh, and Rick Aguilera with the strikeout. And Max Bishop shaking his head, trying to score more for the Athletics, but nothing doing. But it is tied 2-2, top of the 8th, and Carol Yurkis comes in for, if I remember correctly, for Quinn. I thought there was a guy before. My bad. Sorry for the mishap. Quinn. Carol Carol Yerkes. I'm going with Yerkles. I like Yerkles. I like Steve Urkel too. Anyway, besides that, Yerkes going 4 2/3 innings, only giving up 3 and striking out 3 during the series. And Kevin Mitchell 1 for 3 of the day. And here we go. Bevo Labouvier. If my French is correct on that. It's not Labouvier, even though that sounds awesome. I'm going with Labouvier. I can do whatever, folks. I can say how his name is. But he will take over second. He'll take over center field as, if I remember correctly, Mr. Mulhouse comes out. Carroll up at the plate. Here's the pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell gets the nice little bloop to second, to left field, and nothing going. He's on base. Doesn't have the speed like Mookie Wilson, but Mookie can hit, but not today, 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Oh, try to get him on the backhand, and he was caught leaning. He is out, 1 out. Nobody on now. Mookie Wilson better produce here to make a lead here. And Carol Yerkes helps as he walks him. Gary Carter 1 for 3 today. Mookie Wilson might try to steal here. This is a big moment. We might see some stealing from Wilson. Mickey Cochrane has a nice arm with a 65. But can the defense of Max Bishop and Jimmy Dykes get him out? So here's the pitch. Little roller to the third baseman. Oh! Perfect play. Wait, is he out? Is he safe? And he's out. Carter throwing down almost the perfect bunt. Gets out at first, moving Mookie Wilson to second. Ray Knight comes in. Pitch hitter. If you remember correctly, back in 1989, I believe Ray Knight was the man that got in a run to help to tie the game, not to win the game. But anyway, Ray Knight, here we go. Ray Knight hits one high. Is it out? And it is! Oh, the Mets take the lead back from the tie off of Carol Yerkles' pitch. Ray Knight, 2-run shot to left field. And the Mets lead 4-2. Lee Mazzilli pitch hitting now. 2 outs. Carol Yerkles in the playoffs. Mazzilli going 1 for 1. And here's the pitch. Little roller towards the shortstop. And the bleeding stops. 4-2, bottom of the 8th. The Mets getting the lead back off of a 2-run shot from Ray Knight. And, of course, it had to be Ray Knight. So now, coming in, Jesse Orsoko will be coming in. And Sammy Hale will be on. 1 for 3 today. Can he get something going in the dying embers of this game? Hits it nice. Hits it short center. Gets on as a single. Bevo Labouvier, if I'm saying that correctly. Or actually, it would be Labourvieux. Because that's how you... Bevo Labourvo. Bevo Labourvo. I don't know why I thought of Bouvier. Maybe the Simpsons. I'm thinking of the Simpsons because Darryl Strawberry was on that team. In that famous Simpsons episode. So, Labourvu will be hitting. Not the greatest. He's 0 for 1 in the series. Sammy Hale doesn't have the speed. Jesse Orso going 2 for 2 with only 4 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Here's the pitch. Wild pitch! Sammy Hale getting to second, no outs. This might be something. LeBourver view hits it to second, gets the out at first, and and the first out, but moving the runner over. And Homer Suma, 0 for 4 today. Give that man a golden sombrero. This could be his chance to really help out this team. So here we go. Here's the pitch. Suma gets one low. He goes to second, gets the double and RBI. Helping out his team in the dying moments, dying embers of this game and of the series. Making it 4-3 Philadelphia. Mickey Cochrane up 2 for 4 today. No RBIs, but this might be something. 55 contact, 35 power. Just against Jesse Orso. Against him, he's 0 for 0. And haven't seen this guy yet. So here's the pitch. Nice little bloop. Just short. Darryl Strawberry doesn't get nothing. Now we move the runners over. Homer Suma. It's only 1 out. Homer Suma is at third. Mickey Cochrane is at first with that nice little lovely single. Bloop to right. Now Al Simmons, 3 for 4 today with 1 RBI. Hasn't met Ozorko in this series. But Al Simmons could do something here. So here's the pitch. Little roller, but will it be in time? And he's safe. Cochrane did get out at second, but Simmons gets the RBI. Fielder's choice, or it would just be a fielder's choice, but it says here Mickey Cochrane might have been hurt. Trainers examine his right shoulder, but he shakes it off. And now it's tied. Another crazy game. Back and forth. The Mets giving up 2. Jesse Ozorko giving up 2 in the process. 2 earned, 3 hits. Jimmie Foxx is up. Not doing well in the series or today's game. Going 1 for 3. No RBIs. And here we go. Here's the pitch from Ozorko. Up the middle. That could mean something, but it is. Just the run moves the runners over. The hit moves the runners over. And the crowd is back up alive in Shibe Park. Jimmy Dykes going 0 for 3 today. No RBIs. He has not faced Ozorko either in this series. Or today's game, which is really interesting. Or maybe they just don't tell you that. But anyway, here we go. Here's the pitch. Walks him. Loads the bases. This happened last inning. Getting that 1 run in. And Joe Boley comes in. And trying to get the runs in, Joe Boley, who does he come in for? Let's check the game log real quick if it tells us anything. No, it doesn't. Check the box score to see the change. Boley comes in for Mr. Yerkels. And here we go. Boley against Ozorko. He is 2 for 3 in the series with 1 RBI. Here's the pitch. Oh, nothing doing. Lines it to the third baseman. Throws it to first for the out. And nothing going here for the Philadelphia Athletics. Back at it, folks. Here we go. Now Dykstra is up in the top of the 9th, 1 for 4 today. Actually, back at the top of the order. Here we go. The Athletics have Howard Hemke coming in. He's lost one game, thrown 4 innings, given up 9 hits, 6 earned, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. So here we go. What can they do here? A little roller, a grounder to the shortstop. Throws it to first for the first out. 1 out. Here we go. Wally Backman, 1 for 3 today with the RBI. Unless he wants to get another one, he has to score himself in. Nice little hit to right center. Laborvu, if I'm saying that correctly. And I'm sorry if my French is incorrect or my phonetics are wrong. But Blackman gets the single. And here we go. Keith Hernandez, 4 for 4 today with 1 RBI against Howard Hemke. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Hits one to the third baseman, though. Oh, and he goes 4 for 5. Double play. 1, 2, 3. And the Philadelphia Athletics don't bleed in this inning. And here we go, folks. Bottom of the 9th, tied 4-4. The Philadelphia Athletics have their own hands and have their chance at destiny to win here. Ed Lynch will be coming in to pitch. And Max Bishop, 1 for 3 today, will be hitting. This is the bottom of the lineup, and here we go. Here's the first pitch from Lynch. Little tap to the second baseman, gets the easy out. Bishop going now 1 for 4. Sammy Hale, 2 for 4 today, no RBIs. Can he do something here? Here's the pitch from Lynch. Strikes him out. Very surprising. Lynch striking out, then getting but before that, a ground out. Jimmie Cronin will be pitch hitting for Borvu. And here we go. Swings it to the first baseman, and of course the heavy hand, the Gold Glover, Keith Hernandez, gets the out. And we're going in the extras, folks. Here we go. Howard Hemke stays in. 1 inning, 1 hit, no all zeros on the others, while Darryl Strawberry having the gold sombrero at the moment. Here's the pitch. A high one to center, and it looks like French will get under it. Making it the first out. Kevin Mitchell, 2 for 4 today. And here's the throw. Nothing going. Grounder, Buddy Bobbles. Gets the infield hit. Kevin Mitchell on Mookie Wilson up to bat. 0 for 3 today with a walk. Now could this be the killer? Hemke. Oh! That will retire Wilson. Mitchell goes to second, barely getting in. Thought I was going to see a tag and then throw. Kevin Mitchell on second. Mookie Wilson moved him last hit. Now Gary Carter, the kid. 1 for 3 today. Mitchell on second. That's a high one to right field. Suma gets it. And that will retire the side. And nobody's scoring. Ed Lynch is still pitching for the Mets. And Homer Suma, 1 for 5 with 1 RBI. Last time he was up, he got a single to the right side. Here we go. Here's the pitch. Ed Lynch. Little roller towards the first baseman. And, of course, Keith Hernandez gets the out. Mickey Cochrane comes up 5 for 3 today Nobody on. But can he get something started with this team? And here's the pitch from Ed Lynch. Strikes him out. Lynch, on 19 pitches, strikes him out with a 2-2 with a changeup. Al Simmons is now up 5 for 3, of course, with 2 RBIs. This is going to be a tough one. Here we go. Simmons, ready for the pitch from Ed Lynch. Gets it through past the third baseman on the left side. A throw to the second. Not in time. A double for Simmons, helping out his team. This might be the chance for Jimmie Foxx, going 2 for 4 today, to really get in Al Simmons and to win the series. Ed Lynch still in. 34 pitches. Here we go. 2 outs. Tying run, game-winning run at second. The throw. Fox, a little dribbler. Will this be a play at the plate? And it's going in! Al Simmons gets the run in! RBI from Jimmie Foxx! And the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929 win it in extras to win the series over the New York Mets of 1986. A crazy one, folks. I guess go crazy. As the hosts going 3-0, picking and choosing the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929, beating the New York Mets of 86. But here we go. Let's look at the box score. And, of course, in the bottom of the first, the Athletics get the first run. Then in the top, at the top of the third, the Mets double up, getting 2, making it 2-1. Then in the bottom of the seventh, tying it up, the Athletics go 2-2. Then the Mets double up again in the top of the eighth, making it 4-2. But then the Athletics cut that lead off, making it 4-4. And nothing was going in the ninth, but then it took it to the 10th. And, of course, the Mets were so close, but no cigar, as they had a runner in scoring position to take the lead. But then the Philadelphia Athletics helped themselves out in the bottom of the 10th, going 1-2, but then Al Simmons getting a double at his at-bat. And then Jimmie Foxx, he was going 2 for 4 during the game. What was very surprising, he was not doing so hot during the series. Finally gets a good hit, gets an RBI to win the game. And, of course, to win the series 4-3. And, of course, this game going 5-4. Athletics. Mets going 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors. And the Philadelphia Athletics going 5 runs, 15 hits, and 0 errors. For the New York Mets, Dykstra going 1 for 5 today. Backman going 2 for 4 with a 1 RBI. Then you have Keith Hernandez going 5 for 4, and he would have gone 5 for 5 if he didn't get it caught in the infield, getting a double play. But he did get a 1 RBI. Darryl Strawberry going 0 for 5, striking out twice. Then you have Kevin Mitchell going 3 for 5 with 1 strikeout. And Mookie Wilson getting a run in, but going 0 for 4, walk once in the process. Then Gary the Kid Carter going 1 for 4, striking out once. And that was pretty much it. Yes, you had Ray Knight. Let's not forget that. I shouldn't forget it. Ray Knight, his 1 at-bat in the game, gets the home run to make it 4-2. But that wasn't enough. Of course, we go to the Philadelphia Athletics side. Suma going 1 for 6 with 1 RBI and 1 run. Then you have Cochrane going 3 for 6, going 500 in this game, but he had a strikeout. Al Simmons 4 for 6, running in twice and 2 RBIs. And of course, Jimmie Foxx your guy, the guy that got the RBI to win for the Athletics, 3 for 5, 1 RBI, and 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Jimmy Dykes goes 0 for 3. Mule Haas goes 1 for 3 with 1 RBI, 1 walk, and 1 strike. And Sammy Hale going 2 for 5, but 3 strikeouts in the process. And that's it for the batting side of it all. For the pitching side, we had Ojeda going, for the Mets, we had Ojeda going 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, make that 1 run earned, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. Then we had, and he threw 104 times, striking those pitches being 61 strikes. Then Anderson comes in with going in for 1/3 of an inning and getting an out. Neiman going in for 1/3 of an inning and getting an out. Sisk with the broken save, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 make that earn, 1 walk, and nothing else. Aguilera getting the final out, making it a strike though. Orozco breaks the save, 2 broken saves, 1 going in for 1 inning, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. And then Lynch giving up the game winner, giving up 2 hits. He went 1 for 2/3, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 strikeouts. For the Philadelphia side, Jack Quinn going 7 innings, giving up 8 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Carol Yurkas going for 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, make those 2 earned, and 1 walk, and the lone home run to Ray Knight. Then you have Howard Hemke going 2 innings, giving up just 2 hits. And the player of the game is Al Simmons, even though it could be Jimmie Foxx. Here at Shibe Park, it was a long game, but that happens. And of course, Al Simmons becomes the MVP of the series. And let's see the reason why he becomes the man of the series. And here we go. Al Simmons goes 12 for 33, making that a .364 batting average, 1 home run, and 5 RBIs. He had an on-base percentage of .382 and a slugging percentage of .545. So, that is it, folks. Another crazy one, back-to-back. Like Drake's song, back-to-back, but this is not about the 92 and 93 Toronto Blue Jays, or him dissing a rapper known as Meek Mills. But anyways, folks, the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929 beat the 1986 New York Mets the game 5-4, but 4-3. And of course, Al Simmons becomes the series MVP, left fielder of the Philadelphia Athletics. I hope you all enjoyed the MLBeers Historical Showdown as much as I did, and try to go crazy like I did. But anyways, if you like this video, press the like button. Share this video with people. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. We like to get our names out. Of course, we have a Twitter and a Facebook. Our Twitter is MLBeers at MLBeers Podcast. And we're always posting something. Either it's about the Historical Showdown, the actual podcast, or something about ourselves, or something that we like in the MLB, or something going on in the MLB. We do the same thing over at Facebook. Our Facebook is MLBeers Podcast. Same thing goes on. And, of course, from here, from somewhat normal day, not bad weather in the Ozarks of Missouri, this is Andrew Sherman of the MLBeers Podcast. And again, I hope you enjoyed this series like I did. So, win or lose, there is always booze.